Hello, welcome to episode 11, Life in the Flat Lane. It's been a few days. Last Friday was the last one. Had a busiest weekend with the hockey. Where are you left at?
I was making noise, sorry.
Oh, it was a surprise. The wife's eating chocolate. We noticed the Richter scale pain levels were on a 3. It's been a relatively good day. It's been a good few days, to be fair. Sunday, went into town for the second leg of the ice hockey. The less said about that, the better, but we need to say because we didn't qualify. So, well done Panthers for the season. We've got 2 trophies, so we can't complain too much of that, I guess. But we didn't make the playoff finals, which are next weekend, but still looking forward to playoff finals anyway. Loads of people have been selling their tickets because their team never made it. Also a big surprise was not making it was also Belfast not making it. So good luck to Braehead and to Manchester next weekend. Hopefully one of those 2 teams can do really well. Anybody except for Scunfield. We don't want Scunfield to win. So there we go. Got my car back. Yay, finally. Although they nearly messed up because I got a call yesterday saying, oh, your lease hire on your rental car runs out the day before my car's actually due back. And I'm like, yeah, no, let's see if we can change that. So thankfully managed to get that sorted. Got my car back today. Pleased, really good job. They've cleaned it inside and out. So that's a bonus because it needed it, certainly on the outside anyway. So yeah, that's all done. Really pleased with the work they've done on that. So that's fantastic. Saw the respiratory nurse yesterday. So I've got the joys of, I've got another inhaler to use for emergencies, basically. And that's an easy inhale thing that they actually sent me an email with instructions on how to use it, which I haven't watched the video for that yet. I'll get around to it when I actually get the inhaler. It's not been ready yet. So that's one to carry around with me for when things are not brilliant. So we'll see how that goes. Spoke to her and she said I'm quite right to question why this wasn't picked up on the CT scan last year. So my wife is, I certainly know, going to definitely be contacting PALS to figure out what on earth's gone on. Why did it take so long? They had to go back and revisit a consultant to look at this properly. Because if they'd have done it last year when all this, when they first took the CT scan, they knew about the cough at that point as well, so they should have been at least looking for something. And they did tell me at the time that if they found anything else, they'd certainly highlight it, let me know. And I got the all clear from everything back from that, which clearly it wasn't. So PALS will be getting a letter to investigate that, and also the length of time it took for the respiratory team at the hospital to reply to my GP, because that was over 6 weeks when it's usually a few days. And they were very surprised at that as well. So we've got some serious questions to ask on that, especially as the fact that it's mean I've been off work now for nearly 4 months where I shouldn't have been off work at all, because this could have all been dealt with before the cough got ridiculously bad and you know, did additional damage to my spine that was already there. It wasn't damage that was already there that I was used to. So we'll see where that goes. I know how good my wife is writing those kind of emails, and I'm sure she's thoroughly looking forward to it.
I am. Do you want another update on that?
Oh yeah.
I've looked at the NICE guidelines for COPD.
Yeah.
The respiratory nurse is right, you don't fit the criteria.
So it just works even better, doesn't it? So there we go. And she went through the motions yesterday. So that's where we are at the moment. The fact that my peak flow has improved and there is a general feeling of improvement is a good sign. And the fact I've not had the cough, even though we're still on tramadol reduction, when I completely come off the tramadol in a couple of weeks' time, if the cough then comes back, I've then got the emergency inhaler to use, because that is designed for that purpose. So we shall see what happens then, because then obviously then there need to be more investigations done, which I really hope not happens. So we've got lots more fun and games to be had with this. So I don't know what you're left in limbo. And then I've got a couple of weeks' time, just less than 2 weeks now, before I actually get to see MSK face to face. That's been such a long waiting game, but again, this is how long it's taken that to come through as well, the delays on that from the referral process. You know, I've been like this now since the beginning of January. so the whole thing is just is very frustrating, and I'll update you as and when things happen with that. We'll see how that pans out. So yeah, as I said, better day Sunday. Went to town on Sunday. Managed to get around without using the chair. I did use the stick, needless to say, because that's a little bit difficult to get around without that. And it didn't take long for things to ramp up from a very low score to a very high score. And I certainly...
But it did take long for you to get around town.
True. It did take me quite a while. But we went in town and bought a couple of bits, then we went and had our dinner, and then we went to the hockey, and that was me. That was me done for the day. That calmed down overnight Sunday night. Monday, I was doing a little bit of wrapping, and within 5 minutes of me being sat on the floor, I was on an 8, I think, quite rapidly, I think, and that was ridiculous. And I was just literally within 5 minutes of being sat in one position on the floor. So sitting is still a serious.
I want to clarify wrapping gifts, not like wrapping like M&M.
Oh no, it's wrapping gifts. I don't do that. Imagine me trying to do that kind of wrapping. Yeah. You should see the screensaver picture that she's got on her phone. I've got a hoodie on. I've got my my glasses on, which were reactor lights. So they were dark, and I went like that one day, and that's the one that's been there ever since. I look like some greb. And she's happy with that one. Yeah. Some of the faces I put on my pictures, I'm surprised that's her favourite one. And you got your little final meeting with Paws as well. End of hockey season, meeting with Paws.
I'm sure I'll grab him at playoffs.
Yes, and it was nice to see Keith, his handler, there as well this time. And kudos to his temporary handler who handed over the sweets to Keith, as Keith is his main one, that she took him a little present, so that was nice. Apparently they lasted about the same time as Paul's had his 2 bags straight in his mouth. He just scoffed the lot straight away, didn't he? So yeah, this week's going to be a really quiet week, so I can gear up for the weekend, for the ice hockey on Saturday and Sunday. I'll decide who I'm cheering for what games when I'm there. But it's going to be, to be fair, the fact that we're not in it actually means it's going to be a stress-free weekend compared to last season, and I shall enjoy a few beers. On top of that, my medication. That's going to be a lot of fun. The chair's definitely going to be in play. There's a whole group of us, so I'm sure people will be taking it in turns, wheeling me around. I'm sure that's going to be interesting, to say the least. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people having a lot of fun with that in there. Yeah. Might need a crash helmet. Me, not them. And keep my hand firmly on the brakes. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoyed my new birthday present, the my Dolce Gabbana, my Dolce Gusto. I've now got loads of different flavours, a nice little stacking rack. It all looks really posh. Got the recycling for that sorted out as well. So yeah, that's all good. It's just the little things, small minor things that just make the day go a little bit quicker. So getting through Resident Evil Requiem a number of times, almost got enough points to get unlimited ammo, so I can try and run through it in under the 4 hours it goes. But it's good fun doing the game anyway. I do like the Resident Evil thing. I like that quite a lot. Watching my balloon slowly but surely deflate. I've got 2 60s, both black and gold, and one of the zeros has decided it's taking a rest on one of the cat beds. And the others are all hanging in there. So while they're hanging in there, the cards are staying up. As soon as they come down, the cards will come down. Got no cake left. Finally finished all the cake. Saturday, I had the joys of having the mother-in-law round, because the wife went to Manchester with a couple of friends for the hockey, because I couldn't do both days. So I invited the mother-in-law round, and I cooked, and we had a pleasant few hours together. I know. Yeah. Apparently I can be nice when I want to be. Yeah, it's a one-off and the first time in 11 years. Won't be happening for another 11 years, woman. So if you're watching this, take that on board. And she already knows it anyway. She knows. But we had a laugh, which was the main thing. And I do get on with her really, really well, even if I do take the piss quite a lot. So yeah, I don't think I've really got anything else to update on, to be perfectly honest. I'm just going to be doing not much of anything this week. keep an eye, I'm obviously on, as I mentioned before, I'm on the redeployment register for work, and so far there's absolutely nothing come up. So for the first week, no joy with any new posts going on there whatsoever. So 7 weeks to go on that, so we'll see where we are. So I'm not holding my breath, I've got to be perfectly honest. And I'm just waiting for them to let me know if anything comes up, or they get wind of anything that is coming up. I keep fingers crossed, that's the only thing I can do. But it's a bit weird that it does seem we started that a little bit early, because I can't physically do anything until such time I've seen MSK. Have I been referred for some form of treatment? So I'm not sure how that's going to work in the next 7 weeks, considering I've been like this for nearly 4 months already. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks mentally to see where that goes. But we'll see what happens. That's all I can do with that. Yeah, and I think that's about it. So
tell them about this morning's fart.
You probably heard this morning's fart. I was outside chatting away with the wife. I left the conversation, came in the house, and as I walked in, I trumped. And I carried on coming inside, and then she followed me in, and she said, "You what?" And I looked at her and I said, "What?" I didn't say it. I said, "Pardon." And she said, "You said something." And I didn't. I told her I farted, at which point she said, "Oh, it sounded like you said something." In other words, that's the normal shit that comes out of my mouth. That's what she meant. That is exactly what she meant. And she laughed far too hard, and she's still laughing far too hard about that. The fact that she told her mum about it as well is, just even better. Yeah.
You just told the whole world.
Yeah. Wonderful. I can edit that. No, I can't. It's too late now. Yeah, but that was wonderful. The fact that she thought I'd said something, and that's the normal stuff that comes out your mouth anyway. Wonderful. We have such a loving relationship. Yeah. On that note, I'll see you all later. Take care, everybody. Bye.